Thank you for tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Tony Ringgold, having a wonderful, wonderful day today. It has been a very eventful week. Getting ready to open up Premier Music Academy. We have been working day and night. Had to give a big shout out to Heart of Texas Pianos, who came and graciously donated 6 pianos to us. Real pianos, I might say, not keyboards, one of which is a baby grand. So I had to give a big shout out to Heart of Texas Pianos. If you haven't already heard, you need to mark your calendars for Sunday, July 31st, from 4 to 7 p.m., we will be having our grand opening at Premier Music Academy. Woo! We are located on 1604 South 31st Street, right across the street from Scott and White Hospital, next to the Jalisco's. We're going to have food, fun. We're going to have DJ Instigator, a.k.a. Calvin Gossett, on the ones and twos. Going to have open enrollment. So for those that are interested in enrolling in class, whether you are a singer, wanting to give voice lessons, piano lessons, or guitar. And also we have the Artist Development Academy, which we are very excited about. Some of our friends in LA have agreed to partner with us to help with some artist development, have some real connections, not people that say they know people, but people that actually get it done. That are going to be helping and partnering with us with some of our stellar students that we see that are really interested in getting into music professionally. So again, that's Sunday, July 31st, next Sunday, from 4 to 7 p.m. Hope to see you there. Now, I had to talk about it. I have some wonderful, wonderful guests with me today. I have Miss Joyce Blue of the Blue Initiative Foundation. And I also have Miss Phil Smith here with Filio, I'm sorry. Miss Joyce, I wanted to start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to us.
My name is Joyce Blue. I am a mother of 3 adults, and I have 11 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild.
Wow.
I recently retired from the Army and Air Force Exchange Services. And since then, I decided that if I was going to do anything, that it had to be something fun and something that I could be creative with, something that I could put forward the abilities that God has given me to help other people, to help young people, and to really be a mentor for young women and to help them with their children.
That's amazing. So why be a mentor? Why, what led you that way?
What led me that way? I was once upon a time a young mother with 3 children and found myself in different situations and in need with no food, no shelter, no place to go.
Wow.
Someone helped me along the way. Even if it was just an encouraging word, I may not have, got the food that I needed, but in me continuing to strive to do better, God just blessed me to be able to move forward. That is one of the things, and there are so much information that young women with children that they don't know, and they don't know who to trust, and that's a big issue. Is
Right.
Being able to talk to someone and knowing that they genuinely want to help you, and they're not gonna push you by the wayside and give you information and leave you out there to do it on your own.
Right. Right. And I think that's a wonderful thing when, sometimes people get help and then they kind of forget and they just move on with their lives. But it is wonderful that now that you received what you need, you are now paying it forward, and helping someone else who needs that extra help.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit specifically about, I know you have a foundation, and a little bit about the services that you provide and things that you do in the community.
In the community, God is so amazing. The Blue Initiative Foundation was not created by me initiating anything, but it was by my life story being told to someone else, a gentleman who allowed God to use him, and he took $2,000 and gave it to me and asked me to help other women, young women, and with children like myself once upon a time. And when he gave me that $2,000, I was like, God, you mean you want me to have this money and this man, you trust me with $2,000?
Right.
I said,
just given to you.
Yeah, just given to me. And so I was able to help a young family who had to adopt or actually take care of the sister's baby along with their 4 children. So we were able to pay rent, pay utility bills, and then give them money for clothing and food also. And because I am an advocate for Feed My Sheep, which is an organization that provide food every day, 3 days a week for the homeless.
3 days?
3 days a week.
Wow.
I mean, not 3 days a week. 3 times a day.
So 7 days a week?
7 days a week.
Wow.
3 times a day.
And where is Feed My Sheep located?
Feed My Sheep is at 116 Avenue G in Temple, Texas. Okay?
Awesome.
116 Avenue G in Temple, Texas. And not only do they provide meals, but now Feed My Sheep has a free children's clinic. And
really?
Doctors and nurses from all over the community of Texas go down there and they volunteer to give their treatment to these children.
Wow.
And not only that, the homeless can take showers there. They can wash their clothes. They can get toiletries. That is in addition to them getting 3 meals a day, 7 days a week.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. And that's something that, when you have a place to stay and you have hot water and you have food, those are things that you can easily take for granted.
Exactly.
But when all of that is taken away from you, just to be able to take a hot shower is such a privilege.
Yes.
One that we don't really even, take the time to really be grateful for.
Right.
I was watching this video and it was talking about how we as Americans think we're so poor, but actually we're not. We take baths in clean water. We use the restroom in clean water. There, most of the world doesn't even have running water or clean water. And, we really are quite spoiled.
Yeah.
So, it's great what you're doing. I want to go back to the Blue Initiative because you talked about this story. And one of the things that I like to do here at Sundays at the Square is I like to get real because there may be a listener that's hearing your story and they may hear something that you say and may be a trigger for them to help them get out of a bad situation or to know that there is help out there. Right. So tell us a little bit about that story, because if somebody gave you $2,000, that had to be a compelling story.
Yes. Well, I have a brother from the church that I attend. We attended the birthday party of his wife. And his son asked him, Dad, who is it that you know that really does go out to help people? And he said that he told his son, me, Joyce from church. And he says, well, I would like to get to meet her. I would like to talk to her. And could you have her to come to the house? And so when I went to the house to meet him, he had to go out. And so the mom says, well, he left this check for you. And I looked at the check and it was for $1,000. And so I was just amazed, really, because no one has ever done anything like that. And so, I noticed that they didn't have the right heading on the check. And she says, well, I'll give it back to him and have him to make it over. And so I said, okay, come back Wednesday. I went back Wednesday to get the check, and he was there, and he told me, he said, I just want you to take the money and help people like yourself, women like yourself. And so when he said, I wrote the check over, and they gave me the check. Lo and behold, the check was written for $2,000.
Wow.
And so, therefore, that was the beginning of the fundraiser. I need help in doing fundraisers for the Blue Initiative Foundation, because there are still so many families that's moving here from Austin. Because of the expenses, because everything is so, and so they're coming, they're migrating here. They really are. And because I'm a property manager also, I get the chance and the opportunity to talk to a lot of young people, because they're trying to get up on their feet, and they need these resources, and they need me to tell them what to do. So for instance, when I do get money, and someone, it may be a $25 bill, and someone may say that Feed My Sheep, Miss Joyce, I have a client here who needs help paying his or her rent or electricity bill. Is there any way you can help? And I'll say, well, I have this, and I do not require anyone to pay back money. It was given freely, and I give it freely.
Right.
So therefore, they can contact me, Joyce Blue, for the Blue Initiative Foundation.
And how do they get in contact with you? You have an email?
Okay. I have an email. It is Joyce2, TWO, JOYCETWO at AOL.com.
Okay.
And any funds given to me is always given out freely to others. I tend to wait for people to bring it to me, the recipients, because they're the ones that really know who are the ones that need help.
Right.
And so I then interview the person, the recipient. We get with the, if they owe rent, we get with the realtor or the property manager and get all the information, make the check out to the property manager for that rent or for the bill.
Awesome.
Whatever that is.
Awesome. So I like that because, sometimes, and I hate to say it, but sometimes people, they come and they try to get these programs and they use the system for things other than what they're actually talking about.
Exactly.
So the fact that you, and for those who are are considering maybe even giving, one of the important aspects that she did just speak on is the fact that it's going to be paid directly to where it needs to go. So if it's a electricity bill, it's going to the electric company. If it's rent, it's going directly to the property management or landlord. So those are things that are very important because when people do give, they want to know that what they're giving to is actually what they're giving to.
Right.
And so. Are you guys a 501c3? Are you looking to do that?
I already did that, the DBA and 501c3, and I have my tax ID number, and I also have, when I signed up for this, I was told you need to get 5 people to be on the board.
Right.
So we created the board, and so far we're, because things turned a little bit with Feed My Sheep and with the properties. So I've been involved with Feed My Sheep. What I do now, I started out on my own 2 years ago doing Feed My Sheep, feeding the homeless. I would go home and prepare on Tuesday night the meal to feed at least 200 people.
You?
Me.
Wait.
Out of
Wait
my
a minute,
kitchen.
Miss Joyce.
Yes.
I
did.
Would prepare meals for 200 people.
200 people. I would cook it on. It makes my head just, feels funny just talking about it. But I would stay up and I would prepare the meals on Tuesday night. And on Wednesday morning, I got that food down there because we start at 9:30 and we have to serve by 11:30. Well, by 11 o'clock, you've got to have at least 100 trays because the recipients, our sisters and brothers, standing out there waiting to be fed. So anyway, when I went down, I wanted the food to be ready to go. So I would, in the wintertime or the fall, I would prepare the rice and beans with meat in it and season it up real good.
That's
Made
not good right now.
cornbread. And I'm telling you, and they would have fruit cocktails, some kind of, and vegetables. They have to have healthy meals. I want to feed them what I would want to be fed myself. I don't want them to come down and feel like they're just getting
throwing some a bologna sandwich.
No, I don't.
Something.
No, we don't do that. We are encouraged. We are supposed to be the hands and the feet of God, to help our sisters and brothers. And that's what they are to me, because I can remember and recall when I didn't have, when my children were malnutrition. So therefore, God has put me in this area to do this, you know, and to do it with a happy heart. So yeah. So on every first Saturday of the month, I got the church involved. So now they help me.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah. So they help me, and so with the church involved, we prepare meals every first Saturday. And not only do I, but the Chrome Cruisers, a motorcycle club, they come in and they also help feed the homeless.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so it's a lot of fun, really. We get down there and we sing, and Mr. Jim loves it. Mr. Jim Hornsby, he is the president of Feed My Sheep. And he has so many different churches that come in and do volunteer work. But there's really never enough. We have days where they have no one to prepare hot meals. Okay. So if anyone is ever interested, what you would do is go down to 116 Avenue G. There is a schedule, and it has all of the days of the month. It has the days open where they need people to prepare meals, and it'll say sack lunch, hot meal, or whatever. Believe it or not, we still do not have enough people to cover the whole 30 days of the month.
Wow.
We do not.
Okay. So Feed My Sheep needs food donations, and they need volunteers.
They need volunteers to prepare the meals.
Okay.
And to serve the meals.
I've had the privilege of going down and volunteering with Feed My Sheep. And I have to say, it is a very fulfilling experience. And the setup there is so nice.
It is.
It's easy to get in there and do what you need to do. They have the big area where you can prepare and get everything set up, and the big kitchen, even if you needed to cook in the facility. And that's something that also, even though Miss Joyce likes to cook in her own kitchen, there is a full kitchen at Feed My Sheep. So even if you bring what you need to cook, you're able to cook there. And so what kind of donations? I know they need food donations.
They need food donations. They really need a lot of donations for toiletries for men, razors, socks, underwear, anything, Q-tips, Band-Aids, and just
things we take for granted.
Yeah, we take for granted. They need these things. And believe it or not, there are so many rooms in that building where we prepare the meals. Now our church prepare the meals down there, but there are so many rooms there that they're trying to create the atmosphere that this is a safe place to come to.
Right.
They have Bible study. They can come there and they eat their meals and know that they're going to get nourishment, and then be loved. They need to be loved on, So that is the picture that we want people to see, is that we have sisters and brothers out here who is struggling for one reason or another. It's not for us to ask why. It is for us to put out our hands and say, I am willing to help you. I am going to help you.
That's good.
And so that's very important. And so because of that, the Feed My Sheep, some of the the director, Mr. Jim, and some of his employees, they recognize that Blue Initiative Foundation does go out to help. And
Right.
so they do call. And so if anyone wants to make a donation, it will be going out to help feed my sheep, to help the young ladies who need help with their children, clothing, food, everything.
So, okay. So with the Blue Initiative, that is your foundation.
Yes.
I know that you had spoke on wanting to do some type of fundraisers. Is there a fundraiser that you have in mind, or is there a date or anything like that that we can look forward to? Because I mean, even with Premier Music Academy, you're welcome. I'm opening up my doors to you. You're welcome. We're right on 31st Street,
Right.
which is one of the busiest areas. So if you guys ever want to do a type of sale, or if you want to do anything
Yes.
like that, I'm opening my doors.
Okay.
You could come and I'll let everybody know, come out and, support,
That's
because
right.
it is very important.
Yes.
It is very important to give back. And, and sometimes people, they do want to give. They just need an opportunity.
Yes.
They just need to know how and when and where and how to get
Right.
to where they need to be. So, do you have a Facebook page or a website or anything like that yet?
I do have a Facebook page.
Okay. Is it your personal or Blue
It's-
Initiative?
It's my personal.
Okay.
My
Okay.
personal.
What I would recommend is getting a Blue Initiative page. And when you get that started on Facebook, I will share it and get the word out that way too.
Okay.
And what that does is when you post there and you kind of create a place where people can go to,
Right.
they'll always be aware and they'll always know about what's coming up next or what they can do.
Right.
I'll even show you.
Okay.
But yeah, it's important that we do that. And then, of course, I know you can find yourself on Facebook with
Yes.
Joyce Blue, right? Is
Joyce
that correct?
Blue.
And the way that you spell blue.
BLUE.
That's
just
right.
like the color.
Just like the color.
Just like the color.
Miss Joyce, I'm floored. The fact that you said that you were in your kitchen and that you prepared meals for 200 people, that just blew me away.
Yeah.
And I'm knowing you probably came out of pocket for the food.
Oh, we did. We did. But I have a very understanding, loving husband.
That's good.
And he understands my cause to fight for others and to give back. And so he's my partner in this. And
Yeah.
that's where I got that blue name. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And the one thing that I want to make known, though, that if anyone is interested in Feed My Sheep and the programs that they have, because they have so many programs now,
Yes.
you can go down there and you can get your driver's license, you can get GED, you can get help with finding jobs, all sorts of things. They have computers down there, which they can never have too many
Wow.
computers. They do. So they now have an office where you can actually go sit down and fill out forms and to help you get the resources that you need
Awesome.
for your family.
Awesome. If you are just tuning in to Sundays at the Square, I am your host, Tony Ringgold, and we're on B106 today talking to the beautiful, wonderful, amazing Miss Joyce Blue of the Blue Initiative Foundation. I am just completely floored. She is doing some incredible things in the community, not just talking about it, but actually being about it. She has the Blue Initiative Foundation, which is geared towards helping people in the community, helping them, get on their feet, really.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about some of your success stories?
Well, the one success story, which is involved in property management, I had a young lady she had to abruptly move out of her home because she was being abused, and she had to go to a shelter. She calls and she says, "Miss Joy, I've got to get out of here. I can't stay here. They want me to move. I'm not safe." And so she moved. And her rent it was past due, and utilities got turned off. And so she went to the shelter, but she still stayed in touch with me. Mm-hmm. And she says, "Miss Joyce, I need your help in getting the rent paid. I need your help in getting this paid." So I had the information to direct her to different resources of where she could get that help. And I just want to tell you, the situation that she was in was very bad. She didn't feel safe. And thank God that Temple has the different organizations to help young women, and not just young women. Men are in the same situations.
Yes.
You just
Yes.
don't hear about it as much.
That's right.
Okay, but we do know that there's help for them. And so anyway, to make a long story short, she got help with the situation. She was able to move back into the property. She was able to get her bills paid. And not only that, she found a job. And she says, Miss Joyce, I'm going to need a ride to go get a job, to go for an interview. And so I went and picked her up, took her to the place to be interviewed for the job. And she had already gone and applied for another job. And she says, Miss Joyce, I got the job. I got the job. And, and
that's
she's
wonderful.
so happy. But my thing is that she was very smart in deciding what was best for her family.
Right.
She is actually loving herself
Right.
first and loving her children. Not to put them in a situation to say to the other person, I'm sorry, I know you say you love me, but you need help. And I cannot allow this to come back into my life.
That's right.
Okay? I cannot allow this. And so I am so proud of her. And this is what I want other young women to know. You do not have to allow yourself to be abused. Sometimes we put it on the other person. We have to love ourselves first. And loving yourself means that you're going to be protecting that child that's on the inside of you. Not only that, but the children that you have. And it's going to make you want to step up and do better. Give you the power to say no when you've always been saying yes because you thought no one loved you or you didn't have anywhere to go. You have someplace to go. You have someone to talk to. But we have to put ourselves out there to let it be known.
Right.
You know?
Because, I mean, a lot of what you're saying right now, I didn't even have any idea that this was available in this area.
Right.
When I'm originally from Austin. And so in Austin, of course, on every corner you see, some type of sign if you need help, and all that kind of thing. But, to know that it's here and that it's available, that's amazing. And it's going to be something that I really think will impact the community in a positive way. So for all of our listeners out there, if you or someone is in a situation, especially one that's unsafe, and they need some help, contact Miss Joyce Blue with the Blue Initiative Foundation. Also contact Feed My Sheep. Let's get some contact info so people can, know exactly where they need to go.
Okay, for the Free Children's Clinic, anyone wanting to know about the Free Children's Clinic will call 254-239-9863. Okay, and they can give you that information. If you want to know about Churches Touching Lives for Christ, which is another entity, you can call 254-778-6885. And this is the organization where a person can go and get 40 pounds of food for a month. Okay?
What?
They can go down. Yes.
Wow.
They can go down and they can get counseling. They can be prayed for. They can get clothing. They get all of this at one time. Today is Saturday, and they are down there today, and they are giving the recipients food. They're giving them clothing, and they're giving them other whatever it is that they need. But I'm not sure about the bills anymore, but just call that number and they'll give you all the information that you need. So they're working hand in hand from CTLC Churches Touching Lives for Christ to Feed My Sheep.
Amazing. Miss Joyce, I want to thank you so much for coming today. I'm just floored at all that you're doing. And I want to thank you so much for what you're doing in the community. It is so needed. It is so needed. There are There are a lot of people that just need that extra help.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that want to get on their feet, and all they need is just a little bit of something to help them. It might just be that utility bill, and they know that they'll be able to make it. It might just be, okay, I just need some groceries for the week, and I'm going to be okay. And, you know, I appreciate what you're doing. I pray blessings over you. And you said you had something you wanted to add?
One more thing, Tony. If anyone is interested in having a motivational speaker for young women, high school students, I will be more than happy to come out and speak to these teenagers.
Yes.
Okay, because there's a lot of information that they need to know about how to protect themselves, how not to get into certain areas, and to know that more than their parents care, there are people outside that care.
Absolutely.
So I will be happy to do that.
So y'all heard that. To all my listeners, want to thank you so much, Miss Joyce Blue, again. We're going to take a quick break. You tune in to Sundays at the Square with Tony Ringgold.